Taurus out there. So there's a link in the comment section below called the Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to financially support the channel. Would really appreciate it if you did. Let me see. I have everything from tarot readings, right? I call you up, give you a tarot reading, birth chart readings, teach you how to do the tarot yourself. Books that I have that are available on Amazon. Excuse me. So shout outs to everybody that's come through. Shout outs to everybody that will show up in the future. I'm doing videos. So for you, Taurus, you have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So these three cards right here for you, a lot of you Taurus very much so are in a situation where you Taurus have to understand that you're moving forward and that you very much so are serious with not wanting to have to deal with someone that all it is that they're going to do is end up wasting your time, right? A lot of other people potentially in your own past would try to delude you into thinking, send you off and try to twist it and be like, oh, the reason why it is that you have all these people around you is because you want these people around you, right? Basically implying that you want them around you. And you Taurus are like, no, that's exactly not it. That is not it at all. That's really not it whatsoever. The reason why is because I'm just being respectful and they're coming along, but to say me wanting people to particularly move like this, that's completely untrue. And the Knight of Wands represents you probably got sick and tired of hearing it, because like I said before, so many people in this world are intellectually dishonest. They love playing that game. They love pressing that button. That button, that's one of their buttons that they should be pressing, is misdirection and misdirection and lies and just brutality. Those are one of their three buttons. You know what I mean? So a lot of you Taurus are seeing it now that you want to actually leave. You've taken the action to really leave. A lot of you Taurus are not hanging around people that undervalue you and that only wants you to, just be around. They saying that they like you. They saying that they rock with you. But then when it's actually time now to really demonstrate that through actions, they don't know what to do. They're playing stupid. They act like they don't have a clue as to what it is that they should be doing. And a lot of you Taurus are done because the Nine of Cups and the Four of Cups, this is them being boneheaded. This is them having to grasp at straws. And it's like caring for somebody. It goes to show you how compromised and how steep in the dysfunction certain people are, because caring for other people really, it doesn't take a scientist. It really doesn't take a rocket scientist. It really doesn't take a different, it really doesn't take a group of a group of people in order to figure it out. It really doesn't take all of that much. It just takes some consideration. But it goes to show you how much it is that people, again, intellectually dishonest. Some of the people that you Taurus have met in your past who have been intellectually dishonest. It goes to show you how much of a crying shame it is that they won't even be intellectually honest and transparent to save themselves and to save their own relationships. But what they will do it for is stupidity. They'll do it for drama and running game and trying to control other people, and they don't want things to get boring, whatever that means, and all this other type of stuff. And the Six of Pentacles now represents how, well, bump that. In order for you Taurus to want to be around somebody, they have to offer something in exchange to you. you know? And that's the way that relationships should be. Relationships are not transactional, but both sides should offer some value to another person, just non-transactionally. And then sometimes people will be like, well, how they're making it too logical. They're like, oh, well, what is that? That's part of the reason why there's a lot of those people are not in real relationships like that. They'll say that they are, but when you check out what they're in relationships with, the quality of those relationships, it's really boo-boo. It's trash because the quality of the relationships, it you know what I mean, is not really. It's not really. It's not. It's dysfunctional. You know, 9 times out of 10, the quality of the relationship is really dysfunctional. So the Six of Pentacles represents you, Taurus, are tired of dealing with someone where the quality of the relationship is not up to par. It's incongruent. You, Taurus, are expected to do everything, do all the chores around the house, do everything. But then at the same time, the person is not willing to do anything. And then they'll delude you. You know, they'll make it seem like, you know, they'll send you off, which is delude. That's slang. They'll send you off. Oh, you know, it's your fault. You're the reason why. But then they're still around you. And yet you're still doing everything. So it's like, if you're that terrible, why are they around you? Even though they keep telling you how terrible you are. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So, you know, more people, I honestly see that when it comes to me giving you Taurus game, more people should be like this. More people should be asking themselves, how does this person benefit me? Yes, they have to love me. Because truth be told, if I'm really going to go there, if I'm really going to give you some top-notch game, relationships consists of loving the person and giving the person a lot of other things too. Like, I don't know why it is that people think that being in a relationship is all about telling somebody that they love them and then that's it. You know, or just telling them that they love them a couple of times, or just having some sort of romantic fun with them a couple of times and that's it. It's like, no, right? What relationships are about, Taurus, is that relationships are about legitimately showing, like telling a person that they love them and then doing all the other stuff where it benefits them too. And it's not in a transactional way, because what makes a relationship transactional, Taurus, is that that's the focus. What it is that a person is getting tangibly is the focus of the relationship, is what makes it transactional. So in other words, if a person is like, you know, the two of them are, if you and this other person are getting together and you, Taurus, are like, hey, you know, you hanging out with them and they don't ever tell you that they love you. They don't ever tell you that they like you. They don't ever do anything. They don't ever reach out and touch you. They don't do any, you know, literally touch you. They don't ever touch your face. They don't ever look into your eyes. They don't ever do any of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But then they telling you that they like you, or they just want to go hang out. They just want to go kick it. They just want to go hang out on a couple of dates. That's and have you pay for everything. That's a real problem, because now you have to look at it and be like, okay, if this person is saying that they care about me so much, how come it is that they have such a problem doing everything that is supposed to be done in a relationship? And that's not transactional. What would make it transactional, Taurus, is for the focus to solely be on the tangible things that a person is getting. So in other words, if the two of you were to solely focus on that, like, okay, you getting together with them and they're like, okay, what do I get out of you? And then you say, oh, well, you get money. You're telling the other person that they get money and they get some romantic fun and they get all this other stuff. And then you start to name the tangible things that you will get. Okay, well, I want this, I want that. Then it's transactional, because there's no love behind that. You know, So because of the fact that there's no love behind it, you know, and the focus of the relationship is solely based upon what the two of you get physically, only physically, instead of the spiritual connection, which is love, then it is transactional. So a lot of you Taurus are not looking for that you are not looking for that transactional type of relationship. If it is transactional, then you have to look at it like it's transactional. So a person cannot demand so much from you if the two of, in other words, they can't demand love from you, and they can't demand any higher from you, anything spiritual, if the two of you are creating some sort of a connection solely based on a physical transactional perspective. So a lot of you Taurus are not looking for that. And this pokes holes in the talking point that a lot of people will send you off and talk about how it is that, you Taurus, it's something that you're doing. Factually, it's not. It's something that other people are doing that they don't want to admit that they're dysfunctional and that they're all over the place. They want functional people, but then at the same time, they're battling within themselves internally the functionality and the dysfunctionality. So now the Nine of Pentacles represents you Taurus have made the decision. It comes to a point where, you can only stay, if you're a functional person, you can only stay in dysfunctionality for so long before it begins to drive you crazy. You can't stay in dysfunctionality for a very long time. A functional person wants to spread their wings and fly. They want to get away from the weirdos, So that's what it is that you Taurus has successfully done. I see that a lot of you Taurus have escaped specifically the weirdos, the dysfunctional individuals, to where you'd rather hang out by yourselves, even if you're not with a crowd. You'd rather hang out by yourself because at least you know that you're not on some dysfunctional stuff. That's how it is that you know for sure that you're in a very dysfunctional environment. Pay attention to how it is that you move by yourself. Like me, when I move by myself, I be cleaning, I be cleaning, I get a lot of rest, stuff like this. I be reading, I go outside, I work out. It's like, but when I get around other people, a lot of the times I'm trying to have conversations with them. I'm trying to converse, socialize. They be bringing the nonsense to me, They get all up in their nonsense. And it's the same thing for you, Taurus, right? Not because I'm saying it, but because I'm seeing that. The Ten of Wands now is about how, the Ten of Wands represents how other people have tried to say what's up to you, but you've tried to get to know them, and you're hearing the dysfunction in them already because they're telling you what it is that's wrong with them. You Taurus will talk to them and try to get to know them, and then they'll literally tell you what's wrong with them. They'll tell you how it is that, they have a bunch of children. They have, with a bunch of different people. They'll tell you all types of stuff. And like people who don't know the game, people who are not aware of it, people who are interested in playing the game, people who are not really self-aware, right? Which is not part of this community. The people who are not self-aware, they're going to still get with those type of people because for some weird reason they got it through their head that that's okay, but they don't understand that it's really not. Like if a person has multiple children, regardless of either side, with multiple people, what exactly is going on here? It means, number one, it says that they don't know how to actually ask questions. They don't know how to get to know the person correctly. So it means terrible communication skills. They lead with romantic fun before they even get to know the person. So automatically that's a dub. So now the Nine of Cups and the Four of Swords represents a lot of you Taurus are very much so aware. So This speaks to how it is that you, Taurus, have the ability now to be able to be asking questions, be able to see what's going on, right? Ultimately, like it is, I said before, y'all gonna do whatever it is that y'all want to do at the end of the day. I'm talking about whatever zodiac sign is watching this, but this is for Taurus, okay? So if you want to stop making the same mistakes, a lot of you Taurus will have to ask questions, and a lot of you are. But what I'm also saying is that it's successful. You Taurus are asking the correct questions, and you want to actually put yourselves out there to the people who actually are quality, regardless of wherever the quality is. People think that just because an individual has a lot of money and like they're a celebrity, that somehow they're decent. And it's like, no, celebrities are some of the biggest sugar relationships that you would think, because a lot of them buy romantic fun, if you know what I mean. They buy it because they have enough money to do it. They buy it. So they don't really look at it like, they're creating some form of connection with somebody. They don't care because they have enough money. You gotta understand, Taurus, that when, like what Biggie said, right? Biggie was a Taurus/Gemini, right? On the cusp. You gotta understand, right? Like what Biggie said, more money, more problems. So people who are dysfunctional, a lot of these celebrities who are dysfunctional to begin with, them having money just gave them enough finances to be able to continue to live out their dysfunctions. You understand what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to make here is, just because a lot of them may have money, you Taurus still don't care. You're still going to get to know them to find out what are they like personally. Who are they? What is their character? As opposed to finding out if they have money. Because highly dysfunctional people are some of the richest individuals that you'll ever meet. But they're highly dysfunctional because they're rich. So that means that they have the finances to do whatever, to live out their dysfunction. So the Eight of Cups now and the Page of Cups. And if you don't necessarily find anybody, then you Taurus are okay, or you should be okay with being by yourselves for a little bit while you get to know others. Because, y'all are going to do whatever y'all want to do at the end of the day. But you should want to find valuable people, right? And date them instead of hanging out with dysfunctional people that all they're gonna do is try to ruin your value anyway. So let's clarify the Page of Cups here. Five of Cups, Ace of Swords, Lovers, Page of Wands, Four of Wands, right? Because the Five of Cups represent Five of Cups and the Ace of Swords. All it is that dysfunctional people can do is give you the old sob story about why it is that they're not with any one of their partners and worship you at first, while at the same time later on, they're going to do everything that they can to ruin your trust. And you, Taurus, already see that coming from a mile away. The Lovers and the Page of Wands, they'll think that they have you scoped out when you actually have them scoped out. So they're living in a very delusional world. And the Four of Wands represents because you have it in mind what it is that you're looking for. And don't put it past some dysfunctional people sometimes to make it seem like just because they're talking about marriage and love, that somehow they're not trying to send you off or delude you. They can still be trying to do that. Like I said before, listen to their words and watch their actions.